you guys, it's Daniel here and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video I'm going to explain to you do's and don'ts of what I learned. What were the mistakes that happened in this one? What did I learn? That's most important. What did you learn of this one? What can I take forward with me in the future? What did I learn out of this deal? The first thing I would really go into is because I went into it with the JV partner, before you go into any deal, before you continue with anybody, you need to know who is it you're working with. Do you know the person? You probably never know the person 100%, but how well do you know the person? How well have you been talking, communicated for a long time? Have you talked about business? Have you talked about what is your future plan compared to the business partner? What is their future plan? There might be many, so the future plans don't have to be the same, but the future plans in business have to be the same. And exactly when you go into a deal, when you have talked about who does what and all that, and you talked about what futures do you have and all that, so then that's when you start drawing up a contract. There is no such thing as a joint venture contract manuscript. You have to make your own. What do you want? What does the business partner want? Do they want to be an angel investor? They might not want to be hands-on at all. Maybe they'll just give you a fee and they want that fee back later in the future. Then you have to do a different contract. So if you both want to be 50-50, buy a house 50-50, so you split the house, the rent, everything, then you need a different contract. You need a contract that you make with your partner. So, and it needs to be really detailed. So who does what? So who's doing the refurb? Who's doing the inside? Who's doing the outside? What are you doing? What am I doing? Who's touching what? It needs to be exactly who does what, because otherwise in the future you might have conflict saying you said you should do this, you said you were going to do that. So instead of eliminating that in the future, you have it now, and then you say, oh, it says in the contract that you were supposed to rinse the toilet, clean the toilet, and it says that you were supposed to do this, so you stick to the contract. Back in the day, a word was a man's bond, but it's not like that anymore, so everything has to be a contract. So you always have a joint venture contract of the business, and then you have a joint venture contract of the house. It can be the same one. If you're flipping the house, you can just have one contract, but if you're looking to have a business, you should have one contract, who does what in the business, and then if that business buys one house, you have one contract, who does what on the house as well, because you might buy a different house with some different future plans. So I think that's very important. In my case, I didn't have any contract. We have a small contract, business contract, saying we own 50-50, we are equal shares, but it doesn't say who does what, who's going to be hands-on, who's going to be hands-off. So I didn't say anything, and that is a major flaw that we did. I will admit that, and it's my fault completely, so I'm not going to put blame on anybody else. I know it's my fault. Going forward in the future, I know I can do it better because I know I can change it. And to make matters worse, this is stuff that they teach you. When you start learning about property, this is stuff they teach you. So I didn't know it before, I should have known. What I think is the most important thing, probably in this world, is no matter what you do, communication is key. Almost always, I'm not going to say always, but almost always communication is key. Do you have communications with the business partner every week? Do you talk every week about stuff? If you don't have anything, if nothing's going on, maybe like this house is sold, so waiting for the solicitor, everything to come through. So we might not have anything to say, but it's really important to keep in touch anyway, to keep updating each other. Probably similar to if you have investors, if you have people that you know that are in property, call them every week, see what's going on. Talk every week is really good. Communication is key. And do you have builders teams in here? When the builder's in, when the electrician's in, when the plasterer's in, whoever is in the house, it's really important to have communication. And to know that the communication is really good with this person, so that if anything comes up, even though it's small, big, it doesn't matter, they will say something, you will say something, so that you keep up talking to each other. As soon as you lose communication, you kind of lose everything. That's when you lose the whole plot, and that's when the builder doesn't want to do this because the electrician said this, and the plasterer didn't do a good job, so the electrician doesn't want to do this. And you absolutely lose the whole plot if you lose communication. So it's really, really important to always have communication, and that is key in success. Going into a house, going into a deal, it's always really important to look at what is the market doing right now. Nobody has the crystal ball, so if you buy a deal now and you know the refurb is going to take a year, you can't say what's going to happen in that year. But in a deal, in any deal, you make, well, in houses mostly, that's what I know about, you make money going in. So this house, if I take this house for example, we bought it for 98,500, which was below the value. We could actually have just put it straight back on the market and sold it for 110. That was possible. We could have done that without doing anything. So I think once you look at the market, you see what's going on, and we saw the market was a bit really unstable. So that's why I put in a lower offer, which the seller, they accepted. They accepted the first offer, which is, it's always a bad sign. You always want to put a lowball offer in, which has to be rejected, because if the first offer doesn't get rejected, they would probably accept a little bit lower. So you want to put a lowball and then put a little bit offer on top of that, but offer higher than that. But anyway, so I put a 98,500 offer in, and they accepted the offer straight away. Buying a house, you make money going into the house. You need to remember that. That's really important. You make money going into the house, buying the house, and you make money when you add value, when you refurb, when you add an extra bedroom, bathroom, or whatever. That's when you make money. Selling the house, you don't make the money because you already made the money before. So that is really important to remember. People seem to think that once the house is sold, that's when you make the money. But it's not. I wouldn't agree with that. You might disagree, that's perfectly fine. Leave me a comment if you disagree, and tell me why you disagree. But what I would say is that once you buy a house below the market value at that point in time, and you add the value, so you buy it below market value, and you add value as well, so it's worth even more than before, that's when you make money. Then you can refinance if you like that, or sell the house. So that is a really good thing to remember as a golden nugget right there, so don't forget that one. You don't make money going out, you make money going in. When I say look at the market, I forgot to come back to that one because I got ripped away, I got taken away, I get easily distracted. But when I say you make money, when I say always look at the market, what is the market doing now? Is it unstable? What do you think about the future? Because we bought it in the pandemic, and nobody knows what's gonna happen. But we bought it, and the house price went up a little bit. So this is a non-standard construction, so the house price didn't go up as much as a normal brick house did, but it still went up a little bit, which is really good for us. So which means that the house price just goes even higher. But if it would have gone the other way, it wouldn't have made the same difference. We'd probably either make less money or break even, or we could just keep it and rent it out. We always had different options. There was always option A, B. We did have a C option, but I didn't like the C option because I wouldn't put this on the service accommodation. But anyways, there was always the flip and the rent, and then service accommodation. But I didn't really agree on that one. I don't know. I don't think it would work here, but I might do. It's always good. But we had 3 plans anyway. All right, perfect. That's why you always need to have a look at the market and your exit strategies, which I forgot to say.